There is no virus vaccine available in the territory for persons who may need it. Dr. Hesketh Vanterpool at Eureka Medical Clinic told JTV News that the high incidence of flu outbreak in the U.S. this year have consumed the already limited amount of vaccine produced on a global level.
And unfortunately this year, with the increase in flu, most of the vaccines, in fact all of the vaccines have been used up, and we in the BVI and the Caribbean do not have any more flu vaccines available. In fact, so we are not going to get any more flu shots available until next flu season, unfortunately.
So what do we do in the meantime?
We just battle through and do as we did years ago before we had the vaccine available. We drink our fluids and take our medication to treat the pains and the fever and hope for the best.
The flu virus knows no boundaries and spreads easily when people travel to other countries. The medical practitioner said there has been an increase in influenza cases here in the BVI this year.
This year, the influenza infections have been particularly high in certain parts of the United States. And you know, when people in the United States get influenza, and with the tourist industry, we will also get it too, because influenza knows no boundaries. As people pass from one country to another, the virus will spread just as the traffic will. So we have also seen a significant increase in the number of people with influenza. Now, many times we say somebody has the flu, it's just a virus. It's not necessarily the true influenza virus. But this year, we are really seeing the true influenza viruses that are causing pretty bad respiratory symptoms. Typical starts with body aches, general body aches, a fever, runny nose, then cough. Some people get gastrointestinal symptoms like vomiting and loose stool or diarrhea.
But what really causes the flu virus, and who are most vulnerable?
Quite a few variations of the influenza virus, but the common ones is influenza A and B that we see that is actually circulating in the communities more or less all of the time, but at certain times of the year, particularly somewhere from around November until about March, we tend to see an increase in the frequency at which we see people with influenza.
When asked about some preventative measures persons can take to contain the spread of the virus, Dr. Vanterpool suggested that in light of the non-availability of the flu vaccine, if you have the flu, the best option is to stay isolated.
If possible, the best thing is to, if you have the flu, stay home. Stay home. Keep yourself well hydrated, drink lots of fluids, drink some nice warm soups, take some paracetamol as well as some of the cough remedies for the flu. Give it some time, let it settle. Unfortunately, most people may not be that sick, so they want to go to work or they want to go about their normal businesses. And that they tend to come in contact with people and spread the flu around. When you cough, when you sneeze, try to cover your mouth, try to cover your nose. The typical thing is to cover with your hands, but nowadays, you know, cover with your elbow or something, or your clothing, because the next thing is that you're going to shake somebody's hand and you pass it on, and that person can get the flu by shaking someone's hand who has just sneezed into their hand, for instance. School children tend to spread it around because they're crowded together in school. So if children have the flu, it's best for them to stay home from school and not spread it to the other kids around. Sometimes the children bring the flu from school home to their parents, and so parents may end up getting the flu as a result.
Influenza officially reached epidemic proportions in the United States early January, with 7.3% of deaths caused by pneumonia and the flu, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The early start and fast spread of the 2013 flu season overwhelmed doctors' offices and hospitals, forcing some patients to wait through the night to be seen in emergency departments. Tens of thousands of Americans die every year from the flu, even in non-epidemic years.